Good morning. Hope everybody's having a good day or a good life, wherever you're at. We are at December the 2nd, 6 o'clock in the morning. Nice morning, not too bad, 45 degrees. A little unusual for this time of year. I think the high today is supposed to be in the 70s, which is unusual, but it is North Carolina. We do have crazy weather here in North Carolina anyway, so it could be 30 degrees one day and 70 degrees the next, just depending on how the atmosphere is flowing and these fronts that are coming in. I had a individual contact me a few days ago about somebody that has been diagnosed with a terminal disease, and I use the word terminal loosely, because this life doesn't matter. We're just the flesh. The flesh will die. It will die and rot away. That is inevitable. That's the one thing that is guaranteed in life, that our shell will no longer exist. And if you really think about it, it is just a shell, and it is rotting daily. But that being said, it is a very powerful being, very powerful energy that we carry that's inside of us. And we really honestly have to be careful with our thoughts and where we put them, because it will come back to us. However we're thinking and whatever we're thinking can come back to us, and what mentality that we're having. I have a video that's an older video, Connecting Energy, and I had a person contact me about somebody who had cancer and wanted to know if I might be able to help. And this video is out there if you want to watch it. I think it's called Connecting Energy. And I connected to this person, and I started to wear their pains emotionally and physically through death. This person started to pass. I had another person contact me recently about another individual who's been diagnosed. And we really, like I said, we really have to be careful with our thoughts. I've connected to this person, and I've already started to feel this individual now. I'm starting to wear their pains, their physical pains. I just started this journey yesterday, and I already know how it's gonna be. I'm not gonna say, but I already know how it's gonna turn out. A lot of it has to do with us. A lot of it has to do with how we are. Even the people that are around us. If we get diagnosed, we go to the hospital, we get diagnosed with cancer, the first thoughts that we have are depression and sadness, and especially if you're young and you have a family. Once you start entering into that mentality, which I understand is almost near impossible to not to. If you're a God believer, if you believe in God, you know God is powerful. God energy is the most powerfulest of energy there is on the planet, everywhere in the universe. If you believe, you know that God can heal you. God can take away those pains. God can take away those cancer cells. A lot of it has to do with the belief and the faith. That's the main thing about that, is belief and faith. If you're diagnosed with terminal cancer, let's say for instance, you need to change your mentality up. Know and believe that God has the power to heal you, and turn that energy around, because that negative vibration that you're carrying, the negative energy that you're carrying, is only going to feed those cells. It's not going to kill those cells. Kill it with love and positivity. I know that's impossible. I know that's almost near impossible. It's not impossible, but I know that it's near impossible. But if you can change your mindset to love and positivity, even knowing that God exists and that everything is in His hands and He's got everything under control, that the vibration will correct those cells. I almost guarantee it. I almost promise you. The thing is when you do get this diagnosis and you start feeling these pains from this thing, that's only also going to feed your mentality. Of course you're in pain, but you have to change that around. The more pain that you're in, and I understand it's painful, I understand that. That's you feeding that thing. You're feeding that cell. You're feeding that disease, that tumor, or whatever the case may be. You're feeding it. You're only making it grow stronger. My mom was diagnosed with cancer, and she beat it. She has been cancer-free now for 15 years. She always kept her positive and loving mentality. She always knew that whatever happens, it's going to happen, that everything is already in God's hands. We live and we die. This shell doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. Everything is a test. Everything happens for a reason. There are no coincidences. If you're in the spiritual journey, and I'm sorry for this blurriness in this camera, if you're on this spiritual journey and you see these, what they call synchronicities, there are no such thing as that. There are no such thing as coincidences. God is constantly speaking to us. He's always trying to get our attention. But we can't hear Him when we've got worry and stress and doubts in our minds constantly. We can't hear Him talk with that chatter that's going on. If you can quiet that down, God will start to speak to you, and you will be able to hear Him, and He will send you these synchronicities, these numbers, and these messages, all those things that you're like, wow, I needed to see that at that same time. That's God speaking to you. You may not hear a voice, and I don't know if you're expecting to hear this loud voice coming out of the sky. That's not how it works. It's all about faith and belief. You don't need to hear a loud voice come roaring out of the clouds or out of the sky. You don't need to hear that. God will speak to you. God, not saying that God cannot do that, because God can do anything. God can do whatever He wants to do. But it's all about faith. You have to have faith and belief. That's where the whole test thing comes in. Try to be careful with your thoughts. Maintain that. Keep a loving and positive mindset. I know that's difficult. I know it's hard, but you have to be careful. We can feed the negativity very easily by keeping negative thoughts. You will never get out of that depression and that sadness if you keep wearing the negativity. It's just gonna grow, just like a tumor. Also, be careful with what you're putting in your being and in your body. Stay away from chemicals as much as possible. Be conscious of what you're purchasing and what you're putting into your body. If you're buying food, read the ingredients. If you can't pronounce it, then more than likely you should not be putting it in your body. The less ingredients on the product that you're buying, the better it is going to be for you. Always drink water. There's nothing wrong with drinking some coffee or drinking some tea, but the majority of the fluids you need to be putting into your body are water. Every time we sneeze and we use the restroom, that's us losing bodily fluids, and we need to replenish that. God is powerful. He's a very powerful being. I hear Him speaking to me daily. I recognize God's voice. Very much so. Loud and clear. I hear it. I see it. I feel it. I love you guys. And please try to keep a loving and positive mindset. I know I keep saying this in my videos, but and especially this day and time, I know it's difficult. They're not making it easy. Turn your TVs off. Stop watching the negativity. Be careful with what you're putting into your system. What your eyes are seeing, what your ears are hearing, what your body's absorbing. I love you guys. Enjoy your day. Godspeed.